You're welcome from that break. With me in the studio today is a wonderful personality, Coach Mema Ekukinam. He's a high-valued personality coach. She's an advocate for a high-valued curriculum in our educational sector. She was like a teacher. Let me put it that way. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
When I saw the video, I just couldn't. When Lizzie told me about it, I said, my gosh, what are we still waiting for? Quick, let's bring it, It's wonderful. Let me start by asking, how did it all start?
Well, I would say from childhood. Some passions stay with you,
Yes.
from tender age, years old.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it just keeps growing. As a child, I grew up in a home where my father would hype you, build your self-esteem. You understand? He believed in everything we could be.
Wow.
So that encouragement. And then I would say, let me describe my mom as a creative. She's a professor in the university in educational technology.
Okay.
So I grew up around books. I grew up seeing her use her hands to create resources to help others, right?
Wow.
Get it right in the educational system. So I think somehow it was just natural that I'd build that I'd build that passion, to impact lives. So I think when it finally really started dawning on me that something needed attention was in my secondary school. First time in a boarding system. They dropped me and, left. And, and then for the first time, I met the world, because I've been growing in this beautiful bubble.
Exactly, nice
parents, siblings, love, laughter. And here I am, like a sheep dropped in the midst of wolves. I had these seniors who you didn't need to offend them
to get punished.
Meme Queen, where are you? Meme Queen, kneel down there. Meme Queen of this. I mean, for the first time, I've grown up in that loving, beautiful environment. No one has ever called me, those mean names.
Exactly.
And then here you are in a secondary, just
almost like 5 years.
Hey! And for the first time, I heard Oyibo Pikin with bow legs. Where did that come from? Like, why? Who raised you?
Exactly.
What would make you want to start puncturing holes and attacking another person? And where I'm coming from, I've already been groomed for those things not to hurt, to stick, right? So I started looking, I'm like, wow, something is wrong. The set of people I'm seeing here, wow, something is definitely wrong. Like, if I would go for holidays, I would sit with my dad, my mom, gist and talk. He was that type. He would laugh and laugh. Tears would be rolling like all my sisters, everybody, like, Daddy did you see this one did that? And but I mean, after all the laughter and everything, what stuck with me was that these people need help. Something got twisted somewhere along the line, either in the parenting, in the environment they grew up.
Exactly.
Something is wrong. Even there, sometimes you would see, it was too funny. Sometimes you would see parents come in visiting days.
Yes.
When they would come, they wouldn't recognize their daughters. It was too funny.
It's all this fear. I just have a boarding school for crying out loud.
No, honestly, like, I didn't get it at first. So they would leave home looking like one person, and these are girls from very tight religious backgrounds and homes. They don't believe in this, they don't believe in that,
Exactly.
And then when they come to the boarding
second chapter,
they switch. Whatever makes a child leave home and then have to change into something else here, it means that child is not allowed at home to be themselves. Some parenting gap is missing here, and the schools are not noticing it.
They're not even helping.
They're not helping that aspect, So I was like, oh, wow.
Hey.
So that stuck with me. You're always yourself.
Yeah,
you're not.
That's why they're attracted to you.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't have to
yourself.
pretend the way you are.
Pretend.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're making noise in the class, and they'll tell them, "Come on, you guys, shut up." Allow the fine ones to talk. Like, do you understand? I started noticing that that ability was there to talk with people, to get across to them, to prefer solutions to their emotional needs, to their mental health needs. I didn't know about mental health. I didn't, I'm still a child.
Exactly.
So I'm just transferring knowledge from home. Exactly. The way my father talks to me, the way my mom talks to me, I'm just transferring that wisdom, from home to them. But it stuck with me growing on, and I started noticing that, wow, something is wrong. So if you were to ask, when did it start? I'd say, it's a passion that has grown with me over time and has continued to grow because, it pushed me into what's the solution?
Exactly. What's the way forward?
What's the way forward? How do we help these people?
So how did you get to know, like you said, from your upbringing, that is part of it. But I still want to believe that there's something else.
Definitely.
Yes. So please, what is that thing?
I would still call it passion. I would call it that inner desire to bring solutions. I was constantly told, you are here for a purpose. So right from get-go, I already knew, okay, I can't be like everyone. It was already drummed in early on time. So I wasn't one of those people who follow trends. I wasn't affected by who is wearing what and who.
Exactly. What's
I think I had a phone almost around my 18th or 19th. Meanwhile, other people had already started their own phones. And so many, I wasn't bothered about nothing. Yeah. Sometimes I would come back to school. They spend their whole holiday learning the latest songs and the this and the dash what's trending, and then they will come to the hostel and try to terrorize everybody. Oh, me like cooking. Do you know how to sing this one? I don't know, and I actually don't care. Who is that? They will answer. They will mention this and that name. I'm like, I don't know. They'll call me Becky. What bush? What village are you coming from? I was okay. I knew there was nothing wrong with me. I knew, there was time for everything, and I was actually, on a path heading somewhere. So what they prioritized, it wasn't what was a priority to me. So while they were learning their dance steps, I was reading up. I was looking for what's going on, because I somehow had to become like a mom to a lot of people. Unplanned. That's true. What do I do? Yeah. What do I do with this? This other person did this to me. I'm like, oh, you're chasing after a boy? Why would you in God's earth be running after and begging? I can't even see myself doing that in another 1,000 years, begging you to love me from where to where. I was already loved. I was already good. I didn't feel like I needed anything. I didn't need any external validation. Yeah. I had my siblings. I come from a family of 7, so mind you, whoa. So imagine, first girl. I already was a mom to this number. Yeah. So it wasn't hard doing the same in school. So it just kept growing, growing into a point where I started writing books. At first, I thought it was just a self-esteem problem. In my childlike head, self-esteem. If we can fix their self-esteem, they'll be fine. Yeah. But then, as I grew, got into the university and started learning, doing some extra certification and courses, this is more than just self-esteem. Yeah. I'm the way I am because I have my purpose clear. I have purpose clarity. Cool. I have self-awareness. And, it started piling up. And I was like, okay. It's not just, coach, self-esteem coach. Exactly. Because at first I started with self-esteem, self-esteem coach. But it grew to that point where, it grew to that point where I knew that something was missing in the system.
Yeah.
And when I traced it back, I'm like, traditional schools, we are focused on building a child's IQ. Yeah, if this child can just have 100 and 90 and 99 and 97, consistently, we're done. And that was what the school system offered at that time.
And it's still doing that, I think.
And it's still doing that. Yeah. It's just a few that have realized that, okay, to build a wholesome human being,
moral instructions have to be,
so many other things have to come into place. And that's what drove me into start building a curriculum, a high value curriculum, to create that safe space, to fill in that gap that was missing. I mean, for someone to be wholesome, for someone to be good, you need your emotional intelligence. Exactly. You have to be a blend of intelligences. Yeah. Like emotional intelligence, you need that. Mental health, you need to have a healthy state of mind. Yeah. You need adversity quotient. You need to build your ability to cope with stress, to cope with problems, because problems, they're like, problems are life. So I started asking those questions. I mean, what do I do to give these people like a fighting chance? What do I do? I mean, my head just was going in. The African child needs help. Like, if we keep going like this, no. Especially the girl child.
Exactly. I was going to narrow it down.
Especially the girls. I'm more bothered about them because of our vulnerability.
Yes.
If someone comes at you physically, you might not have the strength, the physical strength.
Yes, to hit back.
To hit back.
Yes.
So some of the intelligences have to build you, have to be, available, at your, fingertips to use to navigate the world. Yes. And that's when I was like, okay, wow. This is it. This is it. So I started delving more in, and I created the high value curriculum. And
I want you to explain that.
Yeah,
high value curriculum. Yeah. What is that all about?
Okay, so the high value curriculum encompasses all those soft skills to build your emotional intelligence, your social quotient. Because when you leave the four corners of the school, you're going to relate with people on the outside world.
Exactly.
So what if you end up with a very critical boss? What if you come from a very dysfunctional home? Yes. Because in my tour, in my work with schools and with teens, I have seen a lot. I have heard a lot. Last week I was in a school. I was called in because one of their students had just a meltdown, like anger issues, doesn't know how to deal with it, is going at everyone, in his path. And Coach Mela, where are you? You have to come in. I'm like, you see what you guys are doing? Exactly. Don't do what do you call it? Do a preventive. Don't do damage control.
Exactly.
How do you call it?
Happen.
Yeah. Don't wait until
avoid it.
Yeah. Let's work at preventing, reducing these incidences. There are things to help these children deal with their emotional struggles, the social struggles. Kids are there in school who don't know how to make friends. Exactly. They are being bullied. They are being abused. And if they already came from an abusive home, they're going to be quiet. It's normal. So
what I say every day.
So how is this child going to thrive in the educational system? You're here bothered about, the grades are dropping. The grades will drop because mentally something is not in a good space. Yes. So I'm like, let's incorporate. Don't wait until mental health day.
Exactly.
Where are you?
Come and talk in the assembly crowd.
How do I fuse a 40 weeks curriculum into children in 1 hour talk? Exactly. How it just doesn't work. So I've built this curriculum. It's 40 weeks, for the full thing. So a few schools are beginning to come around. Okay. Some start with 3 days, training. And they feel that it's working.
Something is happening.
And they're like, okay, so let's sign you up. Maybe 2 years, come around and do this, come around and talk some places. And our bureaucracy, in the system makes things difficult. Makes change difficult.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm talking to all of us,
please,
and begging our children need help.
Yes.
The mental health, emotionally, the social quotient, so adversity quotient. A child that thinks life is a straight line, and then meets with curveballs, is not ready to deal with those changes. A lot of our kids just throw tantrums, have a meltdown, shut down, I'm not doing this again, because no one has built their adversity quotient, their resilience to a point where they know that I'm going to push. Okay, this is normal. Trouble, adversity in life is normal.
This is how you
This is going to come. So you're already told. So when they show up, you're not you don't back down.
But many homes don't do that. Many mothers.
Do they have the time? That's what drove me to the advocacy.
Exactly.
That's what drove me. I mean, for the past 2 years, it's now advocating for something to be done with the curriculum.
Yeah.
Find a way to bring this thing into your system. Find a way, because it's important. Yeah. We are pouring out human beings into the world who are not ready to face life.
That's it.
Sometimes I even ask them, sometimes when I have opportunity to speak at PTAs and things like that, I'm like, do you parents know what you're raising? Because the ones I meet in class are not the ones that you meet at home.
Exactly.
Sometimes I walk out of a classroom where I was probably maybe teaching, speaking on maybe self-awareness, or teaching the kids self-esteem or purpose clarity. Any of those, subject matters in my curriculum. I walk out, I get home, and I need to debrief myself. Like, I need to get that energy out, because I'm afraid for them. I'm afraid for them. I'm worried for them.
Exactly.
They are there. Some of them are so rude, mannerless. They don't know how to talk to themselves. Neither do they know how to talk to an adult. And my heart breaks, and I'm thinking, gosh, one day these are the ones that will marry our daughters. These are the ones that will marry our sons. We have to work. Like, we have.
So what you're saying, what do? Because most school, when I was in school, I used to have a moral instruction.
Okay.
And they're about 2, but now they're taking it out of the curriculum. So how do you advise, on a final note, I want you to advise our educational sector.
Yeah.
How do we get this? Because there are some levels that we have lost it, but there are still some coming up. So what's your advice?
Okay, find a way. Okay, like I said, I mean, the bureaucracy, I've been engaging with some stakeholders in the field, and it's going to be a process. Yeah. And I'm ready. I'm here for it. It's fine. But while the process is on, what I'm advocating for is schools, open your doors, for this external help to come in. Open your doors. Some places are so tight-fisted and stingy that they put the money above the value of what is coming.
That is it, the money.
They put the money above the value.
Yes.
And I know that every parent would want this for their child. So what I'm advocating for is find a way to liaise between the parents and the school. Parents are not at any time going to become more available. So if you're sitting and waiting that, maybe parents are going to do the raising.
Exactly.
Impute these things that are missing, the missing needs in these children. It's not going to happen anytime soon. The children are mostly with you in schools.
Yeah.
So let's take it to the school. Because if I say I'm going to keep, approaching it from the parents' angle, I might not achieve much. Exactly. But if we get it into the school system, into the curriculum, like in some schools, what I do with them is I do it as a club. Since you don't have it as a subject.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't have mental health as a subject. You don't have self-awareness as a subject. You don't have self-esteem as a subject. You don't have any of this psychosocial needs as a subject.
Part of the curriculum, yeah.
It's all jumbled up in maybe social studies, in English literature, and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so no problem. I'm not trying to create a new subject. Let's do it as a club. So we build a high-value club. We get these children in, and this is where they learn all this. This is where they come pour out all their mental health struggles, their emotional health. Kids want to learn how to make friends, character development, build values. Let's get it into the schools. So because I've written books, but just books alone doesn't cut it. There's a place for books, and there's also a place where that physical interaction, so I mean that's what I would advocate for.
And I will advocate with her too, because really there's a missing link somewhere.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to admit. The parents believe the one I'm doing is enough. By the time that she sees me, she'll be afraid. Like you said, they live different lives when they go home and when they're in school. Because there's like, no, I want to thank you, Coach Mema, for this. I want to also pray that whatever you put your hand into will prosper.
Amen.
As you have taken it upon yourself to do this. Because I saw that video, I watched it like 5 times. And I saw the way the children were so attentive. You understand? And one thing I've noticed that's why they like the cartoons a lot. Action.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I only see a child who will get up and read. But when they see physical contact, they get to thank you so much.
Yeah.
There you have it. Please, 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 you've heard it from her. And I don't think this will be the last time I'll bring her on this program.
No.
Subsequently, when we have issues that have to do with child upbringing, self-esteem, we'll bring her back here. Because I see she has all the bang, bang, kitty, kitty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.